Peace. Damn, damn. Happy now. Now is the vibrate. The rate at which we're vibing. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Right now, I want to speak to or speak on the ego and the way it holds on to the past, and from a melanated person's perspective, as far as like dealing with that part of the collective ego and the melanated community that basically still hinders spiritual growth. Matter of fact, you got the mentality of one of the mentalities is that being scorned and holding on to your past. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to, of course, understand that we went through slavery. We had all these things happen to us. Cool, but on a spiritual level, if we know how the subconscious, works in this program, then it's not a good thing to focus on the past and focus on the struggle and all we had to do and all we. Nah, let's focus on the brighter future, instead of focusing. Because here it is. What's funny is, people, you know, oh, why they don't put gods of Egypt, that should be black people, all that, and rightfully so. I'm not saying like it's not, but like how a person could go from, being like that, but then preaching though, but you're preaching that same, so you're asking for us to focus on, the, how could I say, us in our highest form, when we were, gods, kings, basically in our magnanimous place that we once were, you know, and it's like, you want to see that God's of Egypt, but you're asking for it in the egotistical manner, like you're still like complaining from like a slave mentality, a traumatized, slave perspective. You know what I'm saying? And it's time for us to grow out of this. Matter of fact, I experienced that on a DMT trip where it basically was purging my ego. And that's when I realized too that I write the ego is also attached to, ethnicity in essence too. Because for you to feel like, oh yeah, I am a black person, I am white, I am Indian, I am Mexican, that's the ego. I hate to break it to everybody. I know that's honestly though. I keep it real because that was hard for me learning. I'm like, but nah, but the black people and the struggle and it's like, yeah, you want to be the change you want to see and help change the world, but like being attached to ethnicity, ethnicity is an ego. And I'm gonna keep it real about that thin line. That doesn't mean like, of course, like, oh yeah, just neglect, certain issues or whatever. Cause yeah, I'm not a, because I'm spirit and I don't focus on. No, that doesn't mean that, because that is that reverse psychologist psyops type of stuff where, like, yeah, let's just be nice and put down the ego so people don't really, grow and learn from the past. Because the thing is to grow and learn from the past and not to focus on it. You know what I'm saying? And some people be like, well, I don't see no color, this and that. And it's like, that's a thin line. Some of that is, really being loving. And then some of that is, uh, new age racism in essence. You know what I'm saying? But is getting away from that traumatized feeling again, you know what I'm saying, of feeling all battered and bruised. And what I was gonna say, yeah, like in my DMT trip where Source actually like was clowning, basically like clowning my ego, like because I'm on the ground at this point. Because in most DMT trips, I kind of go with the flow of the vibrations of the energy. So if it tell me to lay on the ground in the S shape, that's what I'm doing, And I didn't say tell me, like actually like the vibration, the energy taking me over, like I'm just going with the flow of the energies or whatever. But I'm on the ground and I'm kind of picture being a slave and like how like somebody motivating you with like not say reverse psychology, but it's like, oh, the pro black man respect me because I gotta struggle all the time and this and that, basically clowning my ego Because sometimes as that aspect of the ego, of the melanated people or the black person, where it's like I'm the victim. Oh, well, I still need my 40 acres in the mill. You know what I'm saying? And of course, again, yeah, we got did wrong. Yeah, that stuff's wrong, but we right now. You know what I'm saying? Change that now. Change it. Don't focus on it and complain about it. Change it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, all that happened. Yeah, we should have got the 40 acres and the mule. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But right now, you know what I'm saying? Because what's funny, like, that's the mind frame that the Jews mimic in essence of like, where, some Jewish people, you swear the Holocaust was worse than all the stuff that went on against indigenous people and still go on. You would think that situation was way worse than that, the way they gotta make it known. Hey, this many people died, and this and that. Holocaust, like rubbing it in, like, so much, like, and it's like, even with them, it's like, nah, like, with anybody, like, you creating a pain body. You turning yourself into a victim for basically, like, do, and think about the actions of Source. Would Source attach itself to an ethnicity like that? Would Source want a pat on the back and cry until it get one? You know what I'm saying? Think about godliness. Think about being one with Source, about being a vibration. And then you'll start seeing how ridiculous your human nature is with some of the things. But again, back to the melanated community, and mostly speaking too to the like like the American, African American, the slave, the slave community, the community that's really brainwashed, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of this propaganda. Because another thing too, the down for the struggle vibration, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not struggling like me, if you're not like, oh no, the law of attraction, no, you gotta neglect the law of attraction. You gotta struggle just like me. You gotta ignore that law of attraction. You gotta come and be in the hood in the trap with us, or else you're not a part of the come up. Like, nah, like, that's like somebody being stuck in quicksand and saying like, you're not really trying to help unless you come and sit in this quicksand with me. Like, that's exactly, you know what I'm saying? And that's the mind frame that you gotta get out of, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, if you ain't sitting in this quicksand and dying slowly with me, then you ain't 100 and you ain't the stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I always tell people too, with that bad rap, like with people like Oprah, Will Smith, shit, even Obama, Tiger Woods, like, it's like all these sellouts to this and that. But nah, they are the first, melanated pioneers of their respective platforms in essence. Some are, you know what I'm saying? But like, for sure, like Obama or like Oprah, and everybody like, oh, she's so, but no, she's allowing your eyes and your subconscious to see a melanated person that has made it. You know what I'm saying? So you can see, hey, it's about just focusing on what I'm trying to manifest and I could get it. You know what I'm saying? And not like that. Because if you focus on the struggle and down for the struggle, this and that, then that's what you manifest. If you're constantly worried about oppression, oh, they do this to us, they do that to us, then that's what you manifest. That's what you get more of that. And look at the people who constantly deal and complain about that, and look at the people who ignore it and live their life. And the people, like, say, for instance, like the people who, oh, yeah, you gotta be a part of the struggle, you ain't helping. Well, say for instance, some of these quote unquote sellouts, Oprah and all this, quietly giving money to the struggle, in certain places, you know what I'm saying? Like, putting money in these neighborhoods and in these things, but it's quiet as kept, because also too is a chess game where, you know, those things not gonna get broadcast so much, you know what I'm saying? Because, and they know that, hey, that comes with the territory. They playing with the quote unquote big wig, so they gotta play the big wig game. They know that, how I say that, they know that they will be seen as sellouts, quote unquote, for being on that platform, but it's like a price, like whatever. Because understand the chess game, just like Jay-Z. Jay-Z been known, and with a lot of us, and that's why you respect, like, the chess game, like people doing things. You're like, oh, he's selling out, oh, he doing this. And then now you see, like, now that he has title you know, and allowing that platform, you know what I'm saying? Like, you start to see. But it all starts and back to the thing. We're getting for sure out of the ego is inner workings, you know what I'm saying? Change yourself within. If you find yourself still like, because it's not about fighting fire with fire. So if you hate your oppressor that hates you, then your vibration is lowered and you're going to fall victim to all the things that, that lower vibrations fall victim to, with them, you know what I'm saying? Because you lowered your vibration. It's not about that. It's about, raising your vibration, being the change you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Because matter of fact, that's why I got purged on that DMT trip. Basically, this source told me, like it was trying to remove any little faint racism I had towards white people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I speak this knowledge against, like, and I say the European knowledge, this and that, it's never no maliciousness or no hate towards no white person ever. You know what I'm saying? It's just truthful knowledge that may step on the toes of some egos that's trying to maintain the ethnicity, you know what I'm saying? Because maintaining the identity in any form or fashion is the ego. So, whether it's the ego of the black people or the ego of the white people, that's some type of ego, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with trying to identify yourself with something. Because, matter of fact, too, that's why dealing with, the ego, why I fell back off of like Rastafari so much as like with the terminologies and being like Jah and all that, because I felt like I was separating myself and other people, and I'm like, nah, I don't like that vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not the whole universe not wearing red, yellow, and green. The whole universe is not a roster, so therefore, of course, it is extension of our immediate universe and galaxy where something went on. Where, all right, yeah, as above, so below, the vibration of some star beings turned into a Rastafari movement on the planet Earth, but that's not what source is about. Like, the source is source, you know what I'm saying? It's not a religion, it's not a certain ethnicity, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is everything, you know. But that's the thing too, though, back as far as like that collective ego focusing on the past. Like, anything you focus on grows. Like, once you get the hermetic principles, you should never like fall victim to, and when I say never, because it's a constant growth, of course. But I'm just saying, like, at certain overstandings, and matter of fact, or you could tell that certain people, certain conscious people, don't really be as knowledgeable as they claim to be, because it's like, all right, if you know of the hermetic principle, why you're not treating it with the importance that you should be treating it with if you know that much of it. You know what I'm saying? If you know these universal laws stand in place and how important they are, then why aren't you following them? You know, like, and it just, matter of fact, even down to, like I say, well, the Brethrens, and which is a chess game too, because even down with some of that, well, and I even felt that way, even though I was being one with spirit, it's still trying to help the quote unquote struggle, to help the situation with melanated people from a personal perspective. So you kind of get somewhat in your ego when you deal with it, like diving in it unconsciously. Yeah, you could become indulged in your ego with dealing with it. But like, I know me, I try my best to stay out of my ego when even speaking on this. Because with all this being said, that's why I feel comfortable with delivering it, and feel comfortable right now. It's cause like it just came from, from spirit. It's just something that I wanted to, I felt the channel the importance. I channeled the information and felt the importance to deliver it to y'all, you know what I'm saying? But definitely gotta stop with this come stand in the quicksand with me and die with me. And if you're not standing in the quicksand and dying with me, then you're not helping. Like, and stop. And two, as a people, it's all about us teaching the horse how to drink water and not giving horses water. You know what I'm saying? Like, allow, like, teach people how to self-sustain and teach themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because all you creating is a handicapped society if you just giving everything information or just everything here. And people won't be able to the fullness of the body won't be strong if everything is dependent on one thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how our parts on the body break down as above, so below the things we create. A car, if the car depending on, like one, two tires low on air, so it's depending on one of the tires, then it's putting a struggle on that one tire, like, so let's all, build each other up, come together, and stop the foolishness and the nonsense, you know what I'm saying? But, and like I say, this is something, you know, for all, like no matter what your ethnicity is, as far as like your matter of fact, where your ethnicity or your racial group or whatever holding on to an egotistical standpoint. Matter of fact, I made a video about this as indigos, where we all in each ethnicity to be that voice to tell our our own respective community, race, or ethnicity, say, hey y'all, like we more than just this color of the skin and this culture, that we embrace. You know what I'm saying? We more than just that. Maybe you should look into it, especially if you're calling yourself trying to get closer to God or trying to find the truth, but you're just stopping at race bait, and you see this, what it, and it's like, ah, man, we more than humans. Of course, we embrace your humanity, of course, like walk, talk, do things, all that, but it's understanding that you are a vibrational being first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? That's where the misunderstanding come in at, is because you looking at it from I'm a black man, I'm a white man, I'm a Indian man, I'm a this, I'm a that, you know what I'm saying? And then I worship my God. And now you see that how that confusion. I'm not only first off I'm identifying with my ego, but then I treat God as though it's something outside of me and worship it. So you double the lower vibrations. Like you really trapping yourself in your physical existence. But definitely, man, gotta stop focusing on the past and move forward. Because you constantly reliving. Like, think about, like, with anybody, like a traumatized victim, like, say, for instance, a female rape victim. You know, if she doesn't move on, and which all these things, like rape victims, slavery, all these things is understandable, understandable how it's hard to move on from, but staying in that little evil, mad place don't change it for you. So, and the only thing I've seen change it is changing that inner alchemy, just changing it, dealing with it, accepting it, you know what I'm saying, and moving past it, you know what I'm saying. But what I was gonna say, like, say for instance, a female, if she's constantly thinking about that situation and having grown past it, every time she think about, she's constantly reliving it, constantly making that vibration more present in her now. Still, so you bringing the past into this moment, you know, where it shouldn't be, you know. And again, it's all right to remember the past as a reference point to move on to the future, to learn and say, all right, that's not going to happen again. But it's not meant for you to sit there and be like, well, yeah, man, man, I remember when I got this happened to me, or, a female thinking about the rape, or, male, female, whatever, just in a traumatized situation. And when you talk about it, the subconscious don't say, oh, well, they just reminiscing, so I'm not going to manifest that right now. No, the subconscious hear that shit and like, all right, pain, slavery, I'm mad, 40 equals in the mule, all right. That's the experience. that you calling out, so I give you what you want. Universe like, yeah, like all right, that's what you want, like cool, yeah, you know. And again, like having the overstanding of this universal law, it becomes insane to not respect it and live by it, to know that all right, if I want positive things in life, I want, abundance of money, if I want this job, if I want this or that, then that's what I'm gonna focus on. I'm not gonna sit around and procrastinate and focus on talking about basketball, wrestling, and all this other stuff all day. No, I'm gonna focus on what I'm trying to focus on. And what's funny, in that moment I realized how much this the not the conversation went going everywhere, but just how broad and how much I expand from one point of information, But I'm gonna end on that point. Just remember, man, get out of the ego. Spiritual growth right now is the time. A lot of y'all going through what seems like hell right now because it's like, you're being, what it feels like. Basically, what y'all feeling is being pulled in two different directions. Have you ever seen like a train probably equally pulling one car at both, and it's just like, you're going through that because you haven't made the choice yet. Either you're gonna raise it or you're gonna stay in the lower vibration, But something gotta shake. But peace, happy now. Now's the vibrate. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now.